Oh, did you think Jurassic World Dominion would be the end to the franchise? You thought wrong. Ladies and gents, you thought wrong. Jurassic World Dominion will not end the Jurassic Park franchise, says producer. I don't hate this news, actually. I don't think Jurassic World is really for me. And I'm not overly sure whether I think Jurassic World sort of captured that wow and imagination for younger children. I don't know. Obviously, I'm clearly not a child, so I don't really know. But I like watching dinosaurs run around, and I think it's fun. I think it's a bit of fun. So, I'm all for the franchise continuing, regardless of how I think that the quality has been for these movies. Just because it holds a special place in my heart. So I don't hate this news, but I thought I'd dive into this today. If you're new here, like I normally say, I guess hit subscribe, all that good stuff. Hit like. Yeah, so let's check it out, right? So the park is staying open. Contrary to popular belief, the Jurassic Park series is not going to end with the next installment, Jurassic World Dominion, which is what we thought. We did think that was going to happen. It seemed to be building to this kind of inevitable conclusion where, obviously the dinosaurs are loose now. Where's it going to go? So on and so forth. But it looks like they're going to continue it. I don't hate it. I just wish they'd do something a bit more interesting with it next. Wouldn't it be good, right? Picture this. Fan pitch, right? Two different kind of franchises. Well, same franchise, two different target markets. Jurassic World for kiddies. Jurassic Park for adults. Horror folk. How cool would that be? I'd love that. That'd be awesome. Do that, guys. Do that, please. That'd be so good. Now, obviously, this is according to the film's producer, Frank Marshall, who sat down with Collider to talk about his Epix documentary, Laurel Canyon. When the conversation turned to Jurassic World Dominion, he said that the sequel will usher in a new era for the franchise. So, more. Much more. But where do you go? Where do you go when it's all child-friendly? Where's the inevitable... where do you go with it? I don't know. Because they seem to really shy away from the sort of body horror aspect. I've long said I want to see dinosaur-human hybrids. Whenever I say it, I get poo-pooed and people are like, oh, shut up. I just think it'd be cool. I think it'd be gross and body horror. Picture The Fly, but with dinosaurs. I'd love that. It doesn't fit the tone of a kiddie's film. Again, I get that and I appreciate that. But I'd love that. That'd be so cool. But no one else wants to see it. So I don't know where they're going to go with this now. Where's the sort of drive and the sort of the narrative? We've had it in the park, we've had it in an island out of a park, we've had it back in a park, one actually that works, and now we've had them in the real world. Are they going back to a park again? That'd be boring as shit. So, yeah. Now, he obviously said, it's the start of a new era. Now, he also said that an effusive no at the idea of completing the Jurassic World trilogy is looked at as an endpoint to everything. So yeah, Jurassic World Dominion is not the endpoint. Absolutely not. He says that the dinosaurs are now on the mainland amongst us, and they will be for quite some time, I hope. He continued, the new normal, similar to the new, the Monsterverse, will see humans trying to coexist with dinosaurs, in other words. Now, that's an interesting comparison, isn't it? But the Monsterverse is somewhat different because, you can bring in different monsters. We know what dinosaurs there are because we've seen them. They're in the park. Yeah, I don't know. It's difficult because all you got to do is get a tank and a T-Rex is dead. That's not the same with the Monsterverse. You can't bring a tank to Godzilla. You'll get killed. So I don't really see the sort of coexisting side of things and how that's going to be something crazy. In terms of narrative. Now, they did do a really, really cool short film, which I really liked. It was like Trouble at Big Rock or something like that. It was a little short film. I thought that captured a really good horror tone to everything. I thought that was a really, really good short film. But I don't know. Now, they also did say that the next one will have the most animatronics that they've ever had in any Jurassic Park film ever. And that's quite reassuring as well. Less of the CGI nonsense, if you ask me. Yeah, I'm all for practical. I'm all for a blend of practical, to be honest. Now, obviously, he says that money talks, Well, not him, but the article says, money talks, especially in Hollywood, which isn't hard to see. Every franchise can continue as long as the studio thinks there is one last dollar to squeeze out of it, which makes sense. These ones arguably make good money. They normally do pretty damn good money, to be honest. Now, obviously, they go on to say, you know, to look at Terminator, where arguably no story was left to tell after T2 Judgment Day. That didn't stop them. Then, obviously, Dark Fate came out, and that's basically done now. They're never going to make another one. But yeah, and you know, there's some interesting figures here which this article points out, which I'll leave a link down below. It says Jurassic World picked up 15 years after Jurassic Park 3 and literally reopened the park to reactivate the dormant IP, which I thought was quite a clever way to go around it. Now, it was decent and quickly led to Fallen Kingdom, one of the biggest duds of any film franchise, with one of the dumbest endings ever. J.A. Bayona's visual style notwithstanding. I quite like J.A. Bayona's, the visual style was good. I didn't really like Fallen Kingdom, it was a bit... Now, obviously, he said, you know, goes on to say The Last Jedi was bad. Given Fallen Kingdom another watch or don't spare yourself. 43% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. That's pretty bad. Now, obviously, Rotten Tomatoes is not the be all and end all, but I remember quite a lot of people disliking it. I don't know how they're going to continue Jurassic Park beyond Jurassic World Dominion, and that's basically what I'm saying. You're like, where do you go? You know? Where do you go? Now, they obviously make a very interesting point here, and you say it as a joke, abounding into comics, but I can believe them actually doing this. They say dinosaurs eating man and woman inheriting the earth is a likely scenario in this day and age. And it really is. But I hope not. Now it says Universal could hand off to the younger cast members like Justice Smith or Daniela Pineda, as Collider posits, or they could hit the fast forward button and catch up with an adult Maisie Lockwood, although she was one of Fallen Kingdom's flaws. They introduced human cloning but did nothing with it. It was very weird, very, very odd, didn't seem to make any goddamn sense. The whole thing didn't make any sense. But this is what I'm saying, like, where do you go with this? Where do you go? The story's basically done. Unless you're going to go horror route. I don't know. Now they make a note of saying, you know, we could hand it off to younger cast members because Netflix is doing like a series, Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous. They released a trailer for that. I was going to do like a reaction to it, but it didn't really capture my imagination that much. But it does seem like they're painting it much more towards kids, so that kind of throws out the horror element, which is a shame because I think, you know, I mean, look, dinosaurs, crap like dinosaurs, yeah. I think you could definitely do some damage in the horror genre with some dinosaurs. That'd be killer. Pun intended. I think you could do something really, really fun with that. And obviously it says Colin Trevorrow is taking back the reins for Dominion, which could make it a better film, or at least a more even one. Production was put on hold due to the pandemic, so we'll find out later than expected. Now, I don't know when this was supposed to be released, so I don't know when we're due to be getting a trailer. But I think it was Colin Trevorrow who did the short, you know, Big Trouble at Little Rock or something like that. Now, if that's anything to go by, that's a much deeper horror tone what we're looking to get in Jurassic World Dominion. But at the end of the day, I do think the story is done. And it's not to say I don't want to see it, because I want to see more, but only if they start to expand kind of outwards into the more horror element. You know, why can't we have kiddie ones, adult horror ones? Why can't we? You know, I don't see the reason, and I think that'd be the best way to go, because otherwise this story is kind of done unless you start to explore the more horror elements, body horror, human cloning, dinosaurs. How does that all work? Why did we have Maisie Lockwood? Why was she a clone? Why was that a plot point that went nowhere? Why don't you know how to write a film in Hollywood anymore and get paid millions for it, you absolutely fucking dipshits? I'd love to hear your thoughts, so please do let me know. Like, do you like Jurassic Park? Do you know, is that your thing? For me, it is. Like, you know, I grew up with this kind of stuff, sort of. I love this kind of stuff. You know, I want to see this all day, every day, but the narrative seems a bit stretched at this point. So let me know your thoughts. Maybe you can kind of sway me. Let me know down below in the comment section. If you're new here, please do hit subscribe. You can stay up to date on the world of pop culture and movie news by hitting the bell notification icon. Guys, if you want to support the channel any further, I have a Patreon. It is linked down below in the description box. For about $2 a month, you can support the channel, support one of your favourite YouTubers. Maybe I am, who knows. But you can also have access to some other content, like I play playthroughs and I do, you know, Skype roundtables, all this kind of crap that people seem to really enjoy. So check it out. No, you don't have to. It's literally just there if you want to support a little bit further. We've got Teespring as well, linked underneath every single video. Thanks so much. Take care.